Alright guys, welcome back to another Fortnite video, and in this one we have so many new update things to talk about. We've got a bunch of stuff coming in the 6.31 update, and we'll be talking about when that update is most likely going to get here, and other things that are coming up, like humongous changes to the shotguns in the game. And I was able to find some extra news about even more details about how that change even works than most people have talked about, and that's like official news that was revealed, but also stuff like with the Wreck-It Ralph thing on the map. We're going to be talking a lot about that, as well as some other updates that have either been made already or are coming soon. So yeah guys, we have so much to talk about. Going to be a very fun video. And also guys, quick announcement, my merch is 10% off today. This deal lasts for just Black Friday or today. If you use code BFCM10 at checkout, you can get 10% off, and even my limited edition stuff. So be sure to check that out, link down below in the description. But yeah guys, if you enjoyed today's video, be sure to hit that like button down below. Always helps me out so much. And also be sure to comment what you think about the brand new Tender Defender skin. That one just released in game, and I'm curious to see what you guys have to say about it. And I don't know, maybe that's our first like mini update thing to talk about. This is just an extra, but if you didn't know, that skin was actually a recommendation on the Fortnite Reddit. It was an idea made by one poster's son, and then another poster helped out and made like some sick artwork for it, and then Epic Games decided to reach out to them and put the skin in the game apparently. So yeah, that's definitely pretty cool, but let's get into it with the first main thing I want to talk about, and that is just the release date of the next update. We've heard a bunch of news about different things with the 6.31 update, and as always, it's pretty easy to estimate when it's going to come out. However, there is one interesting thing, and that is that last week's update, or you know, the most recent one, was technically a content update, but it didn't require a patch, I believe. And that one came out at 8 a.m. So we'll have to wait and see if this next one will come out at 8 a.m. as well. But I'm expecting it to more so be at 4 a.m. just because that's how it's been in the past. But if it does come out at 8 a.m., then you know that's pretty great news. But what about then the date for this update? Well, as always, I'll update you on my Twitter account at TheLlamaSir if you want to give me a follow over there for stuff about that. But we can estimate that it's either going to be on Tuesday, November 27th or Wednesday, November 28th. It's more than likely going to be one of those two dates because the updates in the past, especially like the smaller ones like this one that's coming up, usually are on something like Tuesday or Wednesday. Sometimes it switches in between the two. We'll have to try and figure out maybe why that is. But yeah guys, should most likely be on Tuesday or Wednesday at either 4 a.m. or 8 a.m. in the morning Eastern time. But moving on here guys to one of the big things we have to talk about in this video. This is the one that has to do with shotguns. Well, specifically the pump shotgun. This item is getting so many changes. This could be like a huge game changer. Like honestly guys, it sounds super interesting. I'm really excited to try this out in the next update, and apparently it does say that it is coming in the 6.31 update. But basically this news comes from the design lead Eric Williamson on Twitter, and also I believe Reddit, if it's his account Epic Eric SW. He did give us some information on the changes to the shotguns to get us excited for this next update that is coming around, and oh my goodness, I'm so excited. So yeah, let's jump into it because again, I think I found some info that he posted that a lot of people missed. So we'll get into that in just a sec here, but first of all, with the basics in case you missed some of those things, in the 6.31 patch, which again is the next one, he says that it will include a pump shotgun rebalance to improve effectiveness, and then goes on to say damage will increase in close quarters and range will be reduced slightly. So that by itself is super interesting because I guess it's we'll have to see, is then the heavy one better for a little bit of medium range? I mean, they're not going to be good at 100 meters away obviously, but it is specifically more for close quarters as he says. But then on top of that, he goes on to say additionally all shotguns will have a minimum damage of 3 pellets even if only 1 or 2 hit, which that by itself guys is humongous. So first of all, let's talk about that because I feel this could be a very interesting change. A lot of the times when people, you know, complain about these types of weapons not hitting for what they're supposed to, it's because they only hit like 1 or 2 pellets. And as you guys know, the weapon works by firing a bunch of different pellets within the crosshair, I believe. Again, I'm not an expert on it, but basically if you're not aiming directly on that person and are close up, some of those pellets can miss, so you can only get like part of the full damage that you would have gotten if all of the pellets hit, if that makes sense. I'm sure you've seen the little red dots on your screen. That's supposed to show how many you hit on an enemy. But yeah, if even hitting 1 or 2 moves it up to 3 pellet damage, that means that the pump is always going to do at least, you know, 20 plus damage, I believe. So that is definitely pretty interesting right there. But keeping it going here, again, he talked a little bit more about this. Apparently it's going to change that the blue pump will do 10 damage per pellet with the increased damage. So if you even hit 1 pellet, it'll go up to 3, and then that means, you know, 30 damage, which is crazy. This is going to be very interesting, and also just having 10 damage per pellet for the blue is going to be pretty nice. I'm not 100% sure what it's at right now, but yeah, then on top of that, he goes on to say that fall off still applies multiplies those, so if you hit a target far away, it's possible to hit below that amount, which, you know, is pretty straightforward. And then he also goes on to say something about 9.5 per pellet. Oh, that's actually for the green version of it, so that's pretty decent right there. But yeah, guys, overall, the pumps got the most buffs out of this. But again, all of those will be getting a little bit of a buff as well with that minimum 3 pellets. So we'll have to wait and see how that plays out. I'm excited to try it. But let's keep it going here with another thing I want to go over, and that is this quick little change to Playground. We got to go through a quick one before we get into the bigger update news. But first of all, this is just a small little change that I thought was pretty interesting, and it has to do with Playground. You know, the awesome mode where you go to practice, you go to get some stuff done, you work on your building, you work on your editing. I've been working on a ton of fun stuff, but yeah, in Playground, they made this interesting little change that I noticed, this interesting little update recently, and that is actually if you spend an hour in the game. So yeah, I found out about it by accident, but you guys know the timer in game. Usually it lasts for an hour and then it goes down, and then like the storm comes in to, you know, make sure that the game ends. Well, that itself has actually changed a little bit. Previously, the storm would just slowly move in towards the center, so you could still do a few things here and there as long as you were close to the center of the map. The storm would slowly move in from the outside. However, recently, and I guess I don't know for sure like when this update happened, but recently it now goes to a new timer, and then when that timer hits 0, the entire map is just covered in the storm. So this way, I guess you can build towards the outside. I don't know if like the timing of it changed a little bit. Again, it's a little bit hard to test out because you have to wait an hour in Playground to see it happen. But I don't know. I thought you guys should know about that because you can get a little bit of extra time, I think, if you're building towards the edges of the map. But keeping it going here with another change. This one is actually already in the game, I believe, and it's a pretty welcome change, to be honest. And it has to do with the item that was released about 2 weeks ago, I think, the mounted turret. So as you guys know, this item has been pretty unique. There hasn't been anything really like it before in the game. So, you know, it does need some testing, some changes here and there to make sure it's the best possible. And we recently did get a couple of changes to it. Now, in case you missed those changes, I believe, again, that they're already in the game, but specifically, and this info is from, you know, Fortnite themselves, specifically Mr. Popo TFS posted it, but it was on the Fortnite Twitter, all of that. But still, I'll go over it in case you guys missed it because it is important for the mounted turret. So the first main thing that they adjusted is the headshot multiplier for this. Apparently, before it was doing ×2 damage whenever you got a headshot on an opponent. It would times the damage by 2, which is pretty significant, you know. However, they have now since reduced it to ×1.5. So for example, if it was doing around 40 damage, let's just say that. I don't know the exact numbers of it, but before this little update, it would have done 80 damage per headshot. Now it should be doing around 60 damage per headshot, I believe. Now on top of that, the other interesting thing that they changed is the time to overheat, which I think was a pretty long time for it to overheat, so I think this is a welcome change. Definitely going to balance it out a little bit more. Again, comment your thoughts down below as well. I'd be curious to see what you guys have to say about it. But yeah, the time to heat was reduced from 10 seconds down to 6 seconds, which I do think is a little bit more balanced. So we'll have to, you know, try it out a little bit. And I guess we already have had time to try it out. So comment down below what you think about those changes. Now also, I believe they said somewhere that the drop rate for them was reduced. So something else to maybe keep in mind. But yeah, guys, let's move on to one of the crazy things that we have to talk about in this video, and I don't know 100% like what this is going to bring in game, so you're gonna have to help me out here. Come up with some ideas, leave them down below in the comments. But the thing that I am talking about right here is the Wreck-It Ralph stuff that has shown up on the map. That's right, guys, Wreck-It Ralph from that movie that just recently came out. I think it's in theaters. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is. I remember seeing stuff about it. But yeah, there is actually Wreck-It Ralph stuff, official Wreck-It Ralph stuff in the game right now. At least it's nothing huge yet, but I'm expecting some big things to happen. So in case you missed what this exactly is, and then we'll talk about some ideas and theories about it. It's definitely pretty fun, but basically it happens at Risky Reels. So if you go to Risky Reels, I believe it doesn't show up in Playground. I believe you actually have to go into like a game. Like right here, I'm just doing solo, went over to Risky Reels to check it out, and as you can see, the first thing you notice is that the projector is on. So basically what that means is that it is showing something on screen. So then obviously you got to take a look at the screen, and if you wait a little bit, you will see Wreck-It Ralph run across the screen, wave to the screen, and then just keep going along. It's a very short thing. You definitely can miss it if you're not like watching the screen for it to happen, but that by itself is so interesting. The last time we had something like this, like some movie themed, you know, collaboration between Epic Games and like a movie, was with the Avengers Infinity War thing with the Thanos game mode. And I don't remember the exact date of that, but that was, man, that was months ago for sure. So who knows? Let's get into to theory time because, like, could we be getting a new game mode with Wreck-It Ralph? That would definitely be pretty awesome. And again, we don't know much more info besides, like, that Wreck-It Ralph has been showing up on the screen. So these are just ideas and theories. But honestly, if we could get another special game mode like that, I don't know, like, exactly what it could be. But then on top of that, maybe we'll get, like, a special skin to buy in the item shop. We just got skins for the football ones, so, you know, it could definitely be a possibility. But yeah, personally, I would like to see a special game mode like that. The Thanos one was honestly a ton of fun, so hopefully we get to see something similar. But yeah, guys, be sure to comment down below your ideas for that as well. I'm really curious what you guys have to say. You guys always come up with some awesome things. But then after that, guys, oh, I actually remember there's one other thing with the mounted turret real quick. So this is like a little bit of an extra, but apparently I think maybe in the 6.31 patch, or actually no, I think it was delayed a little bit, but they said that collision changes to the mounted turret are in the works. So basically what they mean by that is like the hitbox of the turret itself is going to be adjusted, I think, and basically make it easier to hit the person that's in the mounted turret, you know, firing it. Since that has sort of been an issue, like if you're sniping at somebody and the mounted turret is facing you, it's a little bit hard to get a headshot, or really any shot on the player itself. So this should be a good change to make it a little bit more risky to use the mounted turret. So yeah, but then for the final thing I want to talk about that is supposedly coming in the 6.31 update, and this is again from Epic Eric SW on Reddit, who is again, I think, the design lead, but he said that there's a fix supposedly coming in the 6.31 patch for that annoying bug. You may know which one I'm talking about here, but the bug where, you know, somebody's in a quad crasher and they get out of it, whether they're on your team. At least that's how I've experienced it, but the sound of the quad crasher is still going, even when nobody's driving it. So if you do know what I'm talking about, apparently a fix for that is planned for the next patch, 6.31, so that is a very welcome bug fix. Hopefully they do indeed fix that, and maybe they can fix the, you know, little bug with the fatal fields, like animation of running through the cornfields, if you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, guys, with that out of the way, that is the final update thing I want to talk about in this video. So yeah, if you enjoyed it, be sure to hit that subscribe button down below, as well as check out some of my previous videos here, such as on the left, my week 9 challenges guide, and then on the right, going through a bunch of changes in the recent update, such as a season 7 secret and more. But other than that, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one.